paint, and all the things you need from a full-service hardware store. The best choice in home improvement is Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jesup.
Andrew Cuneo here. It's summertime in South Georgia, and the only thing hotter than being outside is the hot deals at Mike Birch Ford. With up to $12,000 off new F-150s, there's no better time than now to purchase the truck of your dreams. So stop the search and call Mike Birch Ford today. Andrew Cuneo here. It's summertime in South Georgia, and the only thing hotter than being outside is the hot deals at Mike Birch Ford. With up to $12,000 off new F-150s, there's no better time than now to purchase the truck of your dreams. So stop the search and call Mike Birch Ford today.
Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO FM in Jesup, 105.5 on your FM dial. Butch over here, we're along with Bob Morgan on this Friday morning, and it's 1 minute after 8 o'clock. And it's now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by Jesup Premium Storage, also brought to you by Murphy Builder Supply on Northeast Broad Street and Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear. And Bob, on the phone with us is Mr. Brian Kemp.
Yeah, as promised all week long, Brian Kemp, Kennever Governor, on the phone with us. Brian, how you doing today?
Well, we're doing great. Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
Well, great to have you on. Like I said, we've met you several times at Day for Wayne. You're a regular at Day for Wayne. You carried Wayne County in the primary, so I'm sure you're looking to carry Wayne County here in the runoff. But statewide and here locally, not a lot of people turn out for this runoff, which is ironic considering how important this election is for the Republican Party to make the GOP nomination. Why do you think the turnout's so low, Brian?
Well, I think it's just normal Republican primary runoff type environment, as sad as it is to say. People are just not paying attention to politics in the middle of the summer. It's hot. People are, trying to get the last vacation in before kids go back to school. But that's why we're on our 37-county, 7-day bus tour. My wife and 3 daughters, I'm sure, are just about pulled into town, and we're looking forward to being back in Jesup and Wayne counties to tell folks how good things are going and rally the troops and get them to be working hard for us this last day of the second week of early voting, and then we'll push hard next week to get ready for Election Day.
Well, we've got listeners in Baxley and Pierce County. I saw you were on that bus for those trips yesterday. Tell us how those rallies went and what was your message to the voters?
Well, our message is very simple right now. We've just had a great response on the road. That is just me, my family, taking our message and speaking directly to voters, which you don't see a lot of, quite honestly, in statewide politics anymore. We started our bus tour Sunday after church and lunch, and we've been on the road ever since, and we won't get back to Athens until Saturday night. But our message is this. We have the momentum in the race with the Kemp campaign. The polls are tied, and people are resonating with not only my conservative 4-point plan, but it's coming to fruition that I'm the candidate in the race that's going to put Georgians first ahead of the special interest, the status quo, and the politically correct. And the guy I'm running against is a pay-to-play politician that will do and say anything to hang on to political power, and we've seen that recently in the Tippins tapes where he basically traded his principles over politics and for, potentially illegal campaign contributions. So, that's our message to our folks, that this race is for us to go get. We're right there. We just got to turn the vote out on our side, and we'll win on the 24th.
What are the key issues in this race, Brian? What are you stressing? What's the big difference between you and Casey Cagle?
Well, I think for me, I've been a private sector person for 30 years. Even every day I've ever served in government, I've also been a small business guy. I have had a construction company. I have a stone business. I can run equipment. I can drive a backhoe. I'm involved in agriculture and farming operations. So I certainly have a lot in common with the hard-working people in your listening audience and in Appleton and Wayne and, Pierce, Waycross, all those counties down there when you think about ag, timber, construction, just hard-working small business people. That's what I've been for 30 years. So I understand it, and I want to make Georgia number one for small business by cutting government regulations, taking that chainsaw that we've displayed in our ads and doing that. Reforming state government so we can budget more conservatively, fund the things we should in state government, like education, public safety, transportation. I know that's a big issue even outside of the metro areas and in your local community, and strengthening rural Georgia. I was the first person that talked about strengthening rural Georgia day one of my campaign, and I was saying it up in Atlanta because I know that's important. I've seen it. I'm the only person that's been to all 159 counties, and obviously I've been in the Wayne, Appleton, Bacon, that whole area many, many times. Have many friends down there, and they know I'm sincere about that. And that's the message that we're taking to people is, do you want a guy that's going to be beholden to the special interest at the Capitol, or you want somebody that's going to be out there fighting for you and putting Georgians first?
I know you want to be on that bus today here in Jesup, but due to scheduling, I think you got some debates taping in Atlanta. One's going to be on Georgia Public TV. Do you know what date those debates will air for people to watch?
Yeah, we actually did the debate last night. So I think you can get the tape of it on Georgia Public Broadcasting. There's a link to the live debate. That was last night. So I'm actually had one thing I had to do in Atlanta this morning. We're fixing to do that as soon as we jump off the air with you guys, and then I'm going to hop on a plane and hook back up with the family at lunch today down in Statesboro, Georgia, and we'll be kind of working the middle and eastern part of the state on our way back to Athens on Saturday.
I'm curious, was the debate civil? I mean, these ads have been kind of nasty. A lot of people talking about how nasty this debate's begun. Was the debate at least civil?
Well, I would just remind everybody that the ads you're seeing on TV from my opponent are just flat lies. He's become desperate. He's a guy that has raised over $10 million from the special interest, and all he can talk about after a 24-year career is what a bad person I am. But that's why we're taking our message to the road, where I can tell people the truth, that he's lying about my record to deflect from what he said on the tape of putting, politics and blank, policies ahead of his principal positions. And that's really what the race is down to now. Who can you trust to do the right thing when no one's watching? It's become clear that you can't trust what Casey Cagle's saying, because he'll say one thing in public and do another thing behind closed doors, and that's not the kind of leader that we need in our state. And so the race has become nasty. I'm the only candidate in the race that ran a positive campaign until he started attacking me. And when he did that, we're obviously going to respond, and we're responding now, setting the record straight. But I would tell your listeners, when you look at those ads, when I'm responding, I'm looking in that camera telling you the truth and responding directly. He's yet to do that. He has, other people or paid actors doing lying hits on myself, and I think that tells a lot.
If you just join us, Brian Kemp, candidate for governor in the state of Georgia on the Republican ticket, with us here on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show. And the bus tour, tell us how the bus tour went. Was it well received? They said 37 cities. How did you decide which cities to go to?
Well, we did 50 counties in 10 days before the primary. And so we're trying to target some places that we didn't go the first round of bus tour. Obviously, we're focusing a lot on rural Georgia because we have this plan to strengthen rural Georgia, and we want that base to turn out. We're also, always picking good media markets and places where the local press will cover us and let people know we're in town. So it really just depends on what's going on where around the state. If there's any local races that will drive turnout, it's a really strategic process. But nobody's traveled this state more than I have. The only candidate to actually visit all 159 counties. And we're just going to keep pressing the flesh and do this one vote at a time in a low turnout race. If people in Wayne, Appleton, and Bacon counties and these others, Pierce down there, they can have a really heavy influence in this runoff election and put a guy as the nominee that will put them first and work hard and be up there in Atlanta fighting for them. That's what I hear from people down there. It's like, who's up there fighting for us? We need somebody to not forget us down here, and that's who I am, and that's who I'll be as your governor.
That's, like you said, you're familiar with this area. That's this common thing we hear. Everybody talks about the two Georgias, from Macon above and from Macon below. So how do you bridge that gap if you become governor? What's your vision for the state?
Well, I'm just going to be a governor for the whole state. I think if you look at my plan, making Georgia #1 for small business, that's something that we can work on in every city, every single city in Georgia, whether it's Atlanta, Savannah, Augusta, or Macon, or whether it's, Jesup, Baxley, or Alma. So, I think that's how you do it, and you put Georgia first, and, you just have a governor that's going to pay attention to our whole state and not just be a a governor that's paying attention to, what hot economic things we have going on and work one certain segment. I personally think we need to spread that out. We've got great assets around our state, great things that we can sell in rural Georgia when you think about agriculture, forestry, manufacturing, good hard-working people, low cost of doing business, plenty of land, plenty of water, and we need to have a governor that's going to promote that around the world and throughout this country.
Again, I know you're not allowed to look ahead, but if you do win the nomination, you do got a Democratic component. I know the Democratic Party's been following you. You mentioned that during your campaign yesterday in Pierce County. How big of a battle will that be, and how do you see you?
Well, I think it'll be an extremely big battle. It'll be about the soul of our state. I mean, Stacey Abrams, I've taken her on before and won when her liberal groups funded by George Soros and others have come after us and tried to change our values on Georgia election law, like checking citizenship when we register people to vote. They don't like our photo ID requirement when you go vote. Obviously, those are things that I believe wholeheartedly in to have secure elections. And people like her and George Soros and Eric Holder and Thomas Perez want to undo all that, and they're firmly behind her. I mean, she's the darling of the National Democrats, the extreme liberal left. She's raised tons of money from New York and California, and she'll raise even more. And the people that are giving her that money want to change the way we do business in Georgia. They want to change what our values are, and that's not what people want. People want Georgia to grow because of the values that we have, and that's what I'll be fighting for in November, and no one's better suited to take her on than myself because I've done it before, and we need a candidate that can stand up to that and not be subject to corruption probes and other things that are going on right now with these tipping states.
One question I want to ask you, going back to the primary, you had an ad that took a lot of criticism. A lot of people talked about it, but talking to South Georgia fathers who had daughters, they related to the commercial pretty well. Were you surprised that you got that much criticism? They talked about you pointing a gun at a kid and all that. Were you surprised at all that?
No, I wasn't surprised that the liberal left thought I was pointing a gun at a child or a teenager, because they don't know how to hold a gun, much less point it. I can assure you I know how to point a gun, and if I need to point one at someone to protect myself, I fully know how to do that, and that shotgun was not loaded, number one. Number two, it was never even close to being pointed to that young man. But it was good because it drew attention to the ad, and it showed people that I was willing to fight back against the left when they come after me, and that's what we're going to need in November. We're going to need a strong candidate that's not going to be pushed around and that will fight hard for our Georgia values. So I would love to have everybody's vote. I'd encourage you to go out and vote today. Vote Kemp for governor, and if you need more information on our detailed plans, you can get them on our website at kempforgovernor.com, and just would appreciate your support.
Well, hopefully there's a big turnout down there to greet the bus tour. Again, you said your wife and your daughters are on the bus?
Yeah, we got Marty and Jarrett, Lucy, and Amy Porter. We got 3 teenage daughters, so they'll be there with Marty, and they'll be talking about the 4-point plan and shaking hands and asking people for their vote. They're just glad to be in town today. We love Wayne County and this whole area.
Like I said, you've been at Dayford Wayne for the last several years, had a chance to meet you there and talk to you and get to know you a little bit. We do appreciate you being here on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show. Hopefully you'll be a regular if you do get the nomination and the governor's seat. We'd love to have you as a regular.
Absolutely, guys. Have a great day and look forward to being back on with you soon.
Okay, thanks so much, Brian.
Take care, Brian.
Take care.
All right, WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio, and candidate for Governor Brian Kemp on the show this morning. Well, that was a good interview, Bob.
It's just good to have him. I said, had Casey Cagle last week, Brian Kemp this week, so again, had the candidates for lieutenant governor as well. We'll just continue to bring as many candidates on there as we possibly can, let people hear what they have to say and make their decision. Again, we encourage everybody to get out to vote. It's just sad that not many people are taking the time to vote in Wayne County. About 330 votes going into today. Got over 15,000 registered voters, and you just wonder where everybody is. Maybe they are on vacation. I don't know.
There can't be that many people on vacation, but just get out and vote. The early voting still going on. I'll go next week, and then following Tuesday is the primary day or the runoff day. Runoff date for many of these positions here statewide, both on the Republican ticket and on the Democratic ticket. And then those winners will face off against each other in November, on that first Tuesday in November.
November 9th, I think it is.
Second Tuesday? Isn't it the first Tuesday after the first full weekend or something like that?
It's first Tuesday in November, but I'm not sure exactly what the date is.
Okay, well, it couldn't be 9th. It was the first Tuesday.
Maybe it's the 6th.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
First Tuesday in November. All right. But it'll continue on the early voting all the way through the day, and then next week, and then the following Tuesday, Election Day. Get out and exercise your right to vote, folks. Got 15,000 approximately registered voters here in Wayne County, and how many have voted so far, Bob?
331.
How many?
331.
Like 331 out of 15,000. Maybe there's going to be a big rush next week, and then the following Tuesday on Election Day. Now, this is for this is a big thing here. This is for the governor of the state of Georgia. This is for the lieutenant governor of the state of Georgia. This is for the secretary of state of the state of Georgia. Plus, there are other positions that are in runoffs, both on both tickets. So get out there and exercise your right to vote.
Democrats got the state school superintendent runoff.
That's right. So they got that runoff. But you can't make people vote. You just can't. You can't do it. But we'll see what happens.
Maybe they can start giving out party favors if you show up or something. Maybe.
I don't think you should start. No.
I'd do something.
No. It's one of the reasons why you cannot buy alcohol in the state of Georgia during election hours, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Election Day. That was passed eons ago because they didn't want to get people all favored up and take them into the polls.
Maybe like Wild Adventures offer authentic food and
And speaking of Wild Adventures, Jonathan just gave away 4 free tickets to Wild Adventures, and I'll do the same thing right around 8:45 to 8:50. La Fiesta going on tomorrow and Sunday at Wild Adventures, and a spectacular fireworks show tomorrow night. Being at Splash Island sounds real good, doesn't it, Bob, with this heat out there? That sounds most wonderful.
It's hot.
Yeah. Very, very hot. So, once again, how did our all-star teams do in state action yesterday?
Congrats to the Flea Girls. They brought home a state championship yesterday from Moultrie, Georgia. So, again, they just dominated play in district and state. Nobody ever even played with them. So, our congrats to them. Mitchell boys are playing this morning at 10 a.m. against Lions, but they have to beat Lions twice. And if they win twice, they win the state championship. If they lose one of those 2 games, they're state runner-up. And the junior boys have to win 2 today up in Augusta to get to the championship game tomorrow, and have to beat that team twice tomorrow. So they got 4 more games to win in order to win the state championship up in Augusta, Georgia, because they went to loser's bracket in day 1.
So somebody just texted in that you can buy liquor on Election Day. Did that law change? I know years ago, and I really haven't paid much attention to it since then, that you could not buy from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. But perhaps maybe they changed that. I don't know. I know it used to be that way. But perhaps maybe it got changed. I just haven't paid attention.
I'm going to practice a drinking before I post.
Well, that law was passed probably, 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago to keep people from, politicians going around or their supporters and doing things they shouldn't. But perhaps maybe in the last few years that has changed, and I just didn't pay attention to it. Yeah, I don't like you. No, that's not a thing that you do.
Just
before you go vote.
It's just mind-boggling. Like I said, this is a very important race on the Republican ballot, not just the governor, but lieutenant governor, secretary of state, and just can't seem to get but a turtle's pace to the voting booth this last 2 weeks. So,
and I want to tell you, folks, the courthouse is air-conditioned, so all you have to do is get out of your air-conditioned vehicle. You can practically park just right around it, because there's so few people voting. Walk inside where it's air-conditioned, vote, go back to your car on the air conditioner. So even though people say, hey, it's hot outside, well, you've got to go somewhere. You go to work, you go to the store, you go do something, just go to the Wayne County Courthouse or any courthouse in the area. Whether it's down in Pierce County or Macon County or Ware County or Liberty County, Long County, Tatnall County, Lynn County, all our listed area. You can go down to that courthouse and vote.
Let's be optimistic. Maybe they're just waiting to see the debate before they go vote. Maybe they're trying to get all the information they possibly can.
Yeah.
Maybe they're going to vote next Tuesday.
Well, some people are like that. Some people know right off the bat who they're going to vote for. I mean, boom, bam, they know way in advance. And then some people are, I just need to take a look at the candidates, you know, see what the difference is, what their opinions are, see if any last-minute news comes out on them, you know. A lot of people do that, but what do you think it's going to be statewide for, you know, about 23, 24% statewide of registered voters at the max?
So less than 20%, the way it's going.
The way it's going right now? We'll see. We'll see. We'd like to congratulate all those teams who are doing well in the state all-star playoffs. Wish them all safe travels and a fun time, and please drink plenty of water and sports drinks because it is hot out there.
And then we start today, so we'll have that report Monday.
Yeah.
We're still the best 24 swimmers in state competition up in Tifton. So
it was good to have the piranhas. It's become a tradition with the piranhas every single year on the Thursday before they go to state. To the state meet for them to come in here. And it's nice to have those 12 ones, 12 swimmers, 10 and under, and the 12 over 10 in here yesterday. And, you know, we've seen those ones that are over 10 come in here when they were little bee poppers, and now they're tall as I don't know what. And it's good to have a great swimming program here. It's such a shame that they have to practice in Dr. Thomas's 2-lane pool. Hopefully we'll get an 8 or 10 lane pool here in Wayne County that's regulation length. So these swimmers, not only now but for generations to come, will have a place to practice and perfect their sport. We got baseball fields, we got football fields, we got soccer fields, we got tennis courts. We've got cross country, we got it all. We just got to slap a pool there somewhere. You know what's going to be interesting though? We're sitting here without a pool for a few years now, for the piranhas to be able to practice, and for the high school swim team not be able to practice, and of course for recreation for everyone during the summer. And wouldn't it be ironic we went this many years without a pool, and then suddenly, bam, the city of Jesup puts one in back at the Cracker Williams Recreation Center, and then bam, the county puts one out there at Bill Morris Park, and we have two. Either feast or famine, huh, Bob?
We'll settle for one.
Yeah, we'll settle for one. But just wouldn't that be ironic? You're sitting there all that time, and then suddenly, wham, But it'll be great to hopefully get one back. And I did say that the proposed budget for the school board is to build that track there at JC Stadium, to do total resurfacing and have all the facilities there. Is that right?
They voted to put it out by the school.
Oh, that's what I meant. At
JC Stadium, not the school.
Oh, you mean at the school? Oh, I thought you meant at the football field.
The proposal to build this track at the school.
At the
That's
school?
what Sharon Daniels wants it. The athletic director and football coach wanted JC Stadium. So, but they don't come to the board and tell the board that. The board's listening to Sharon Daniels. She's running this.
But why doesn't the coach and the athletic director go and say, listen, these are the reasons why we wanted at JC Stadium, and give a good
that's a
presentation there?
Well, that's a $64,000 question that hasn't been answered. So those questions have been asked. But Sharon Daniels is running that train for the track, and she wants it at the high school. Okay,
so it's going to be where they proposed it before, on the right-hand side of the practice field over there, right?
That's where she's got it going.
Okay. Yeah, well, you would think that if the coach and the athletic director wanted it at JC Stadium, they would sit there and say, all right, here are the reasons why we want it here. And then the board can make that decision based on the facts of either the school or at JC Stadium.
The board hasn't got that presentation.
They ain't got that presentation.
All they got is Sharon Daniels saying she wants it at the school, and they voted to put it at the school. And it's in the proposal, $1.5 million, to build it at the school.
Okay. All right.
That's where
and that's probably without lights, isn't it?
Without lights,
where they would have lights at JC Stadium.
Without concession stands, without anything. So that's why it doesn't make any sense.
I don't know, Bob.
It makes sense to do it at JC Stadium.
We need to get Sharon on here to talk about it and say, Ms. Daniels, why do you want it there? What are the reasons for that?
Why do you want to build in a swamp?
Yeah.
You don't spend $1.5 million building a brand new track in a swamp with no lights, no bleachers, no concession stands, no nothing, no parking.
Yeah, that's true. They don't have any of that. Yeah, that's true.
They've got the proposal to go in there and renovate JC Stadium, spend money there, improve the lights, improve the track, improve everything. and make it a nice facility.
Well, the other 4 board members, did they say anything?
No, they haven't said anything.
They haven't said anything? They don't have an opinion on where they like
Apparently
it?
not. Sharon Daniels is running this track. She's the one that brought it to the board. She's the one that demanded need a track, but she's demanded it be built at the high school.
And are they definitely going to do that, or is that just being proposed?
That's the vote at the moment. The vote
at the moment. But they could change their vote if they wanted to.
Right. I mean, nothing's been written in stone. But
Okay.
like I said, somebody's going to say we don't want it in the swamp. I'm the only one yelling at. But I'm not the athletic director. I'm not the track coach.
You have to bring in a lot of dirt.
A
lot of dirt to build that up.
I wanted a JC Stadium. I want the renovation of JC
Would
Stadium.
people have to walk across the football practice field to get to the track, or there's going to be another entrance somewhere, and where are people going to park?
I have no idea. I just know it doesn't need to be built where they're proposing to build it. That's just my personal opinion.
And that's your opinion, and you're sticking to it. All right? And that's the thing about it is what we have here on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show. Let folks express their
I'm not a board
opinions.
member. I'm not an athletic director. I'm not a track coach. I'm not the superintendent. But I just know what I hear at the board meetings. The board meetings is Sharon Daniel made a motion to build it at the high school and put in a referendum, and that's what it was voted unanimously by the board.
Well, apparently the other board members want the same thing. Or they wouldn't have voted that way.
They're just going along with their board member. Like I tell you, it's a give and take. You vote for this, I vote for that. See it all the time. Each board member.
Little backroom compromising going on, huh, Bob? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying everybody has an agenda. That's why when people run for political office, the first question you ask them, what's your agenda? Because everybody has an agenda.
Okay.
So you need to know what their agenda is.
Now, and you got, it doesn't mean that agenda is negative in any type of way. It can be a very positive agenda.
I'm just saying that people who run because they have an agenda. In my 35 years experience.
I agree. I agree.
Politicians.
Well, they should have an agenda. You just don't say, well, I'm going to run because I just want to. You run because you do have an agenda. You have goals. You have things that you want to see done. And the thing about it is, people don't agree on stuff. I mean, heck, you got husbands and wives that don't agree on stuff. And they love each other and married. Yeah.
I'm just saying your $1.5 million investment will be a lot better at JC Stadium than in a swamp.
Okay. I'm just really surprised that the athletic director or the coach or the other board members didn't have an opinion.
They were there. They didn't say anything.
And they didn't say anything. See, that's the thing about it is, why didn't they have an opinion? I don't understand, Bob. We need answers to all these questions, and you are the news and sports director.
I don't have the answers. Go
get us the answers. Do some investigating reporting, Bob. Now, if we go down to, when you leave here, do you go down to have breakfast somewhere with a bunch of guys? Now, if we go there, can we hear the real truth? Because I know we can't put it on the air because we can't back it up.
They've already heard this soapbox. They're tired of hearing it.
There's a lot of things that we cannot say on the air because, you got to back things up with facts when you put it on the air, but you don't have to do that.
I've already aired my frustration at the coffee shop.
At the coffee shop, you can hear Bob's opinion sometimes that he cannot put on the air. Somebody just said, yes, sick 'em, Bob. Oh, boy. Anything else, Bob? Got anything special going on this weekend?
Not really.
Not really? All right. Have a good day and a great weekend. All right, the world-famous Butch and Bob Show brought to you by Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear, by Jesup Premium Storage, located right out here on the Waycross Highway, and by Jesup Premium Storage. Oh, and by Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear. I already said just Premium Storage. 830, 105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO. And coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to give you the chance to win 4 free passes, 4 free tickets to Wild Adventures Park that you can use tomorrow or Sunday. It's La Fiesta weekend at Wild Adventures Park, and we got some passes that we're going to give away. Also like to let you know there's a big yard sale going on at 770 Chapman Plantation Road here in Jesup, just off of Tank Plant Road and Highway 169. Big yard sale with a lot of kitchen items and decorative items, and lots of ladies' clothes and kids' clothes and other household items. So if you're looking for some good deals at a yard sale, it's going on today and tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Big yard sale at 770 Chapman Plantation Road, just off of Tate Plant Road, and then if you're coming from the other direction, just off of Highway 169. Big yard sale today and tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. So you can go by now if you like, at 770 Chapman Plantation Road here in Jesup. Time now is 8:31. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll give away those tickets. But right now, let's check in the latest news from Fox News Radio right here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup.
Not what you wanted to see in the paper today. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. The British Prime Minister Theresa May's meeting with President Trump at the country home used by prime ministers there. He's critical of her in a British newspaper interview just out. And a version of the president is looking down on a big protest in London, where Fox's Simon Owen reports.
Chris,